Check, check. Hello, hello. All right. It has been it's been a long time since I streamed on here. It took me forever to get this set up properly. Streaming with Pro Tools is an awful experience. It's just completely impossible. So I'm still finishing getting a couple things set up here. I think I got my guitar set up, but we'll see. So I'm getting over a cold. I feel absolutely awful, but I can still play guitar, and that's what matters. So today we're going to be arranging something from Sonic the Hedgehog. What else would we be doing? And I'm just getting the file here. And today we're going to be looking at Aquatic Ruin Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Let me know if the audio drops out or anything. I'm doing this really crazy routing situation using a program called Voice Meter Banana, this thing here, that seems to be doing the job, but I don't entirely trust it because I don't really know what I'm doing. Can I turn my mic louder? Yes, absolutely. Doing that right now. Louder. It's a little louder now. A little bit louder now. It has some compression built in. Does that seem to work? Oh, yes, it does. I like that. That's fun. Okay, so yeah, it seems to be working. Let's make sure we have guitar. Just one moment. It sounds like guitar noises. Real quick, I'm just going to switch this back to a line output. So I'm actually recording through my Axe effects right now, which I never do. I should probably put the guitar in frame, huh? How's that? A little better? There we go. Oh, this isn't this isn't a good angle for anybody. Let's see. Is that better? There we go. All right, how's everybody doing? That all works. Yeah, so I got the Fractal Axe Effects 2. Awesome piece of gear. I've been using it for live in cover bands and in some off-Broadway stuff I was doing, and it's awesome. I had the Axe Effects 1, and I wasn't really sold on it, so I did sell that and pick this up, and it's a lot nicer. So I can recommend the Axe Effects 2. Cool. That all seems to be working. Not too much latency. And let's see. There, now I can hear it. Okay. So yeah, we got Aquatic Ruin Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This is one I've had requested on the channel a lot. So I wanted to take you kind of through the process of arranging a cover for this channel. The first thing I always do, the last cover I streamed production of was the Fire Emblem medley I did last year, or 2 years ago. It's been a while. But the first thing I always do is pull the song itself into Pro Tools and just line it up with the grid so I can work right against the track and make sure everything lines up with what was happening in the original song. So let's hear this track. Cool. That's not the original tempo. Let's turn off elastic audio for a moment. And see if we can find the tempo of the original tune. Okay. Looks like the original song was recorded about 1:32. And what we're going to do now is line everything up with these bar lines. It should be pretty steady. This is basically a MIDI file being played back on the Sega Genesis. So there shouldn't be too much tempo variation, but we'll still be lining stuff up with Elastic Audio just to make sure everything's right in line. Cool. All seems to be lining up really easily. Cool. And that's the end of the track. It's a short one. It's 38 seconds long. So when I'm arranging video game music, it's a little tricky sometimes because there's not always a Sonic 3 has that. A lot of Mario music has that many sections. I have a little intro section, this ba-da-da-da kind of intro, and then a verse, we'll call it, the ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-da, and then a chorus, ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-ba. So that's, I'll call that 2.5 sections, which means we're going to have to kind of manufacture a bridge or solo section for this, and I'll show you what my approach to that usually is. All right, so we've got this all lined up. That's great. And there's a lot of places we could start with this. As Paradigm Shift 2 says, there's a lot of complexities in this song. This is a really cool, it's like a samba kind of track, like an old Chick Corea tune or something. This is very clearly in like the early Chick Corea vein of things. This quick samba piano going on in the background. I've given a lot of thought to how I would approach this song. I think I'm going to keep it with that feel. You could easily take it out of that feel entirely, just make it a straight metal tune. But I think I'm going to try to keep some of this Latin flair in here. Let's start with my basic setup. Usually I have a template for this sort of thing, but I want to show you how I build my arrangements, instrument by instrument. So I'll just show you what a typical Pro Tools setup looks like for me. I'm going to have the drum track, and then let's say the bass, and probably 8 guitars to start, and then a few pianos, a reverb track, and my master. Okay, that's a lot of tracks right off the bat, huh? Let's name these. Drums, bass, rhythm guitar 1, rhythm guitar 2, rhythm guitar 1A, rhythm guitar 2A. Those are going to be doubling rhythm guitar parts 1 and 2. I'll show you how I stack all these shortly. Then we have lead guitar 1, lead guitar 2, lead guitar 1A, lead guitar 2A. We'll probably have a solo guitar track too for the guitar solo later. We're also going to have a piano, and I don't know what else. We'll use those other tracks for something. Here's our reverb track and our master. And finally, I'm going to do this before we even get started. These rhythm guitar tracks are going to get routed not directly to the output, but through an auxiliary track here. That's going to put all 4 of these rhythm guitar tracks through one nice clean fader that I can just bring up or down. That makes mixing so much easier. That's a life changer when you get started using like subgroups for mixing. It makes life a whole lot easier. Okay, so normally I'm using amp simulators. I love, where are my favorites? Why does this look so different? Weird. Normally I use, where are you at, Joey? There we go. Toneforge Jason Richardson. This is my favorite amp simulator of all time. it just sounds super ridiculously awesome out of the box. I'm obsessed with Jason Richardson, both as a person and as a plugin. But we're not going to be using that today because a couple reasons. One, I wanted to play with the Axe effects a little, and two, it's really intensive on the CPU, and having 8 instances of it running at the same time, along with a streaming setup going on, it would be bad for this computer. Which, as awesome as it is, I built this maybe 3 years ago. It's starting to show a little bit of age, so I think I might have to upgrade. Alrighty, so let's start arranging. Trying to decide which instrument to start with. I'd usually start with a rhythm guitar, but this is not really a rhythm guitar kind of song. I can't just go power chord chunking away. So I think I'm actually going to start with the bass on this one. Let me go grab my bass. Okay. So this is my Squier classic vibe 70s jazz bass. I absolutely love this thing. It was super cheap and it feels awesome after I got it set up, and it sounds great. Super cool. So let's figure out what is going on in this track. I'm going to slow the track down so I can kind of learn what's happening. Okay, it's in the key of D minor. There's that. That's a start. When I do the actual video, I might do this on my Ibanez 5-string. I don't have it on me right now. It's at my lesson studio across town. So tuning down to drop D is the best we got for this right now. So we got this little ba-da-doom right at the start. How's it going, Roberto? Bow-down, bow-down. I can't think in drop D, so we're gonna stay in standard for now, and I'll play it down the octave later. Oh, and that sounds super helpful. I may have to check that out. I think I got the chords, though. We got a G minor 7, C minor 7, F7, B flat 7, E minor 7 flat 5, A7, and then we're back to D. So it's like a... Okay, it's a lot like I Will Survive's chord progression. Okay, cool. I think I got that. Now, what the bass player, what the bass synthesizer is doing, is playing on not beat 1, but kind of beats like the second and third hits of the clave rhythm. If we're doing like bum 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 bum, it's those second and third hits. 1 ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da. So I think I got most of it. Ah. Ah. And what's that last turnaround? Okay, cool. There's a site that has tons of video game music. Yeah. There's like vgmusic.com. I used a ton. If I find something really out there that I can't transcribe, I'll totally go to VG Music for those MIDI files and work with that. But this is more fun figuring it out on my own. I like this. I think I got it. Okay, next section. I think this is going to be a lot easier. I'm just going to transition to a really normal samba bass pattern here. But let's find the chords. We got, I think, G again. This might be the same chord progression. Nope, it's different. Okay, I think I got the whole thing. Let's bring this back up to speed. What was the original tempo on this track? 132, do we say? Something like that? I'm probably going to want to ramp that up. I want this faster. I like a real fast samba. Haha, what's that run? Ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Okay, cool. Okay, there's the bass part. I feel like that was the easy part. Now we have to actually be creative. Oh man, could you hear any of that? Let me play through it one more time. Let me see if that's actually coming out. Oh, it's not. Bummer. Let me give that one more run. I think I got it down now. Okay, that was fun. Cool. There's our bass part. I feel like drums might be the next piece of the puzzle. Where do I put this? And it's going to start with a samba pattern. And then it's going to let loose and get kind of metal. Because it has to. For drums... This is so weird. Pro Tools usually has like a favorites thing up here. I'm running my screen in kind of a weird setup though because of the streaming thing. Don Dashy says, please say steel drums and shakers. There is a steel drum YouTuber I want to work with soon. We've been in contact. I don't know if I'm going to have him on this one. I have a Mario project in mind for him later this year. And shakers, there will be shakers all over this. We've got to have all kinds of Latin percussion on this. Shakers, some hand drums. That'll be fun. What was I looking for? Contact. I'm looking for contact. There it is. And we're going to use... Oh, I finally have Invasion installed. Okay. I don't think we're going to use Invasion. Although it looks really cool. Hey, we're going to try Invasion. Okay, this is Get Good Drums. God, that's a huge kit. That's a stupid huge kit. That's just silly. Let me see if my MIDI drums are working. One second. They're not. I think I have to reboot Pro Tools to get those. All right, I might do that in a moment. But first, let's just program some of this stuff in first. So this is Get Good Drums Invasion. This is a death metal kit. Like they specifically put this out for like really intense death metal. But can I just load in a general MIDI map? Yes. Okay. But it's, I don't know, all their drum kits are just awesome for everything. Yes, you're absolutely right. Some super bright Yamaha pianos. Trumpets would be fun. How many cymbals can one man need? This many. That's just silly. I've been using Modern and Massive on most of my tracks lately. It's another Get Good Drums library. Really awesome. Okay. I really want to play this live. I'm going to close Pro Tools for a moment. I have no idea what's going to happen when I do because this setup is so delicate. And let's open it back up. For some reason, Pro Tools does not recognize any MIDI devices turned on after you've opened it. So if I want to use my drum set, I had to turn on my drum set and then close Pro Tools and then reopen it. And do we have drums? Yes. All right, let me see if I can get the drums in the shot. I like this kit. This kit sounds good. It's fun. I have crazy latency on it, though. I think I have a solution. So I'm going to monitor the sound from the direct from the drum set. This is the Alesis Command drum set. Awesome mesh drum set for really affordable price. Give me just one moment. Okay, that's working. So to be clear, we are monitoring the audio from the drum set because it's really low latency, but we're recording the MIDI in Pro Tools, which we're then going to play through the MIDI drum software that I have on here because it sounds better. Streaming audio production is so hard. I don't know why it has to be so difficult. Like, Pro Tools barely functions as it is, and then you add streaming into the mix, and it's just a mess. Still a bit of latency, but it's better than it was. We'll see if this works. Should have used Ableton. You're right. idea what I'm playing. Ah. I can't play with that amount of latency. It's messing me up. It's like those videos you see where they have that app that plays your voice back like half a second later. That's what playing with that is like. So I'm just gonna program this one. That's okay. I'll figure it out for next time. As far as DAWs go, what is your DAW of choice, Dawn? Will I save the stream on the channel? Yeah, absolutely. This will be playable forever on here. I may edit it down to some highlights for another video, but this full stream will be available on here, no problem. What is my tuning, and do I plan to upload tabs? My 7-string Carvin is in standard tuning, B, E, A, D, G, B, E. Do I plan to upload tabs? Probably not anytime soon. There's a chance I may start doing Patreon again, and if I do, I'll put tabs on there. Okay, here's what I was trying to play but couldn't because I was getting absolutely confused. It's going to be a 16th note pattern on the hi-hat, 2 hands. Cool. Trackers. Yeah, I was trying to get into, what's the really nice tracker going right now? Something. Renoise? Is that it? That seems really cool. FL's cool. I can't really get into the pattern-based workflow. I'd much rather just record to a song, and I feel like you can do that in FL, but I haven't really figured out how. I do have it installed on here, though. I plan to learn it at some point. But for now, Pro Tools and Ableton for me. I'm going to program a super basic kind of samba-ish pattern. Let's hear that soloed. Yeah, that's doing it. I feel like there's a fill at the end of that phrase. Just a nice little snare drum fill. Like a doodle-da-da-da-da. Okay, let's see. That's a cool drum part. I just realized I forgot to put a snare on the second half of the beat. I think I'm feeling it on beat 4, maybe? Let's see how we like that. Yeah, okay. That's going on beat 4. Cool. Cool. A couple questions. Have I thought about uploading more music to my Spotify account? Yes. Yeah, it's actually a little expensive to upload covers to Spotify and the other distributors. I use DistroKid for sending to those music channels, and it costs like $12 a year for each of those covers, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. If you had like 100 covers on there, that's $1,200 a year you're spending on just the licensing fees for those covers. There's other websites like SoundDrop seems really popular with video game cover artists. I got a lot. It's actually better to go with something like DistroKid. So I got to figure that out. Definitely do plan on uploading more of my back catalog, maybe compiling those into some kind of album or something. I've got a few fun ideas for releases on Spotify, for more stuff on YouTube that I've got to figure out. That's good to know. You do want to see more of my stuff on Spotify, though. Thank you. Can't even tell if it's streaming properly right now, but it looks like stuff's buffering. That's a bummer. All right, I'll figure this out. Okay, there's our drum track. Seems like this is still buffering. I don't know if anybody... if you guys can hear me say something. Man, this is... getting a little goofy. Well, I hope it's working out there. All right, we're going to retrack our bass part and then add some guitars and keys. Oh, looks like it's streaming properly again. That's good news. If you missed anything, we just finished up the drum part for this section. So we got a nice drum part there. Let's put our bass part back in there now that we got kind of everything straightened out with the drums. Get both of these on screen at once. There we go. How's it going, Metal 'em Up? Metal 'em Up is an awesome video game metal cover band. It's had some really cool guests on their channel. If I were to put any more on Spotify, I'd love to have the Sonic 3 Boss medley on there. So medleys are tough with cover licensing. You technically can't really post medleys anywhere. It's even a little fishy that I'm posting them on YouTube, technically according to like US copyright law. I really shouldn't even have the Robotnik medley on there, but I've gotten away with it so far. I don't want to push the envelope though. Maybe I could do it as like 3 separate tracks on an EP or something. I'll look into that. Yeah, so it's easy to license one song. It's hard to license, like you don't need to ask permission to license one song. If you want to make a medley, make a new piece from other little pieces, that's creating like a new work from those pieces, and therefore you need permission of all the composers to do that, which is hard to get. So that's why I don't have most of my medleys on there. I have the Robotnik up there because that was before I really knew what was up as far as copyright law goes. And that seems okay so far. But that's why that's not up there. Okay, bass part. Oh, I didn't want to record over the drums. Don't do that. There we go. I'm good. Do like a pattern on the bass. Here we go. I played the wrong notes at the end. What? Okay, that's our bass part. Cool. All right, let's start playing some actual guitars, huh? Ooh, that's hot. That sounds right, right? I think that's right. Let's start with the easy stuff. What do I use to license songs? DistroKid, like I was saying. Same as you. Like I said, it's real easy to license songs. Not so much medleys. Where's my guitar tone? There it is. Okay. Whoops. Not right. That's right. So this is mostly based in like a D minor, D harmonic minor with the occasional major like note borrowed from the major scale. That's what's going on with this melody. Let's try it. Okay, cool. Good, good, good. Let's do that again. No, from the beginning, please. Oh, the last take was better. I used that for that part. Okay. Let's add a second lead guitar part on top of that. Sort of a higher harmony. Whoops. So this is just going to be mostly an octave up. It's going to sit out for the verse, and then maybe jump in on a harmony in the next part. I don't know if this will work. was terrible. I hated it. Let's just go an octave down. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. And now I feel like there just needs to be a few more harmonies stacked on top of just this intro part. I feel like that could be like 4-part harmony right there. So I'm going to start with doing a third up. Cool. And let's duplicate that track right there. Same story, different harmony. We just did a third. Let's do a fifth. Closer. That's closer. So the harmony we have so far is bypass it. See if I can play all three at the same time. Thank you so much, Miso Soup, for the super chat. Maybe this note would work better? Something about those notes didn't jive for me. There it is. See how simple that is? It sounds crazy, but it's really just 3 simple notes. It's the same line being played in harmony. I had the root happening here. A harmony happening a third up. And a harmony happening a fifth up. And just stacking those gives us this crazy sound. And then I finally have an octave up from the original note. Now if I pan these a little bit, sounds wild. I'm going to get these all, as I did with the rhythm guitars, all on a bus. Just one track. So I can have those all in the same place, and I can mix them in and out as needed. Tyler Big says, this has always been one of my favorite songs from Sonic 2. Glad to see you covering it. Thank you so much. Yeah, this has always been one of my favorites too. This and Hydrocity Act 2 from Sonic 3 are both like really sick, just samba tracks. There's always been such a good mix of genres in Sonic the Hedgehog games. I absolutely love them. I can't talk enough about how much they influenced my playing growing up. It's huge. How's it going, Wild77? Good to see you. I may forego the pianos, keep this in a guitar-oriented kind of situation, and record some of those backing piano parts on guitar. Let's see if that sits well, or if we don't like it. Let's see. I kind of hear this little bum ba da ba bum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum bum kind of thing going on in the keyboard. See if you can hear it. It's in the right ear. Bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum. Sonic 3D Blast music. You know, that's the one game I didn't... That's the one Genesis Sonic game I didn't spend a lot of time with. 3D Blast. Also Sonic Spinball. I didn't really get to play much. I think we rented it a couple times at Blockbuster. Good times. I only owned the mainline Sonic games. So 3D Blast and Spinball, I only had like a cursory experience with. But on emulators, I really need to go back and play through those sometime. I've heard such good things about both of them. And the music, too. So I'm going to have to check that out. All right, let's see if I can work out this guitar part. Close. Bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum. I don't like how that sits in that part of the neck, though. Hang on. Now, there's no easy place to play that. Darn it. I want to hear the whole... Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's a thing. And I feel like there's a harmony to it, maybe? Let's listen. It's really faint. If you listen again, it's in the center left, just a little bit. Bum, bum, ba, dum, ba. There it is. Okay. Excuse my really weak singing. It's 10 a.m. on a Saturday. And I have the worst cold. Water. Water, Sandy. There we go. There's a YouTube channel that deconstructs a lot of Genesis songs. Carpathia 808. I'll have to check that out. That sounds right up my alley. I also love 8-Bit Music Theory. Does a lot of really cool analysis of a lot of Mario stuff, some Zelda, and I think he's tackled some Sonic. Another great channel. Diamond Dust Zone and Volcano Valley. I'm going to have to check those out. That sounds awesome. Okay. So let's pan those rhythm guitars. See how they sit in this whole situation. Cool. I still think it needs a big power chord at the bottom, so we're going to do that here. And that's why I have a 7-string. So let's put one on the left channel and one on the right. We'll get a big, crazy, thick guitar sound. That's thick with 2 C's. Here we go. What note was that, Dean? 5. Play the 5. Okay. Let's go hit the other side. Cool. I think I want to hit that little leading into it, like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. I need to tune this guitar. Hang on. I hope everybody's having a good 2020 so far. I am, aside from this cold. I feel like I've been fighting this cold for like 2 months now. just right on the edge of it. And then I played a gig on New Year's Eve. I played from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then the gig was in Pennsylvania, so I drove back here to upstate New York afterwards. So I got in around 5, and I have not really recovered since. And that was, 11 days ago. But other than that, 2020 has been good. Aside from Neil Peart passing away, that's terrible. I'm really bummed about that. I don't want to do the second one. The second one gets in the way. Okay, cool. Put that back in on the other one too. Cool. And now what on earth to do for this next section? This is really hard to say. I could do something like doubling the bass part. Some of them even got reused later in Sonic Adventure. Oh, I have to check that out then. Yeah, I really got to do a deep dive on Sonic 3D Blast and Spinball. I want to play both of those. Okay, let me... I could try doubling the bass part. Let's see if we like that or not. That might be heading in the right direction. Those light piano parts actually continue through the original song. Oh, you know what? I should probably listen to what's happening in the original in this verse. This is one of those songs I haven't really... This was a level I always flew through as fast as I could because it was so annoying when you got caught on the bottom level of Aquatic Ruin. So I probably didn't hear this music nearly as much as I heard, say, Chemical Plant Zone, which is like a super long level, or... the first few levels of Sonic 3, which is probably the one I played the most. Hey, thank you so much, NS Boy, for the super chat. It means a lot. So, yeah, let's see what's going on in the original track. Oh, boy. Listen to this right ear. I don't know if you guys have headphones on or not, but if you listen to this, the higher piano part in the right, it's wild. It's all over the place. I don't know if... So sometimes I'll leave parts out. I won't recreate a song absolutely note for note if I don't think it serves the genre I'm bringing it to. This might be one of those times. A really frantic little piano part like that may not translate to this kind of Latin metal thing I'm doing. But I do absolutely need to get those answers in there. The parts that come in between. Is there a second answer in there? Nope. I think this is just going to be straight power chords in the rhythm at this point. Okay. Yeah, let's get both of our rhythm guitars in place here. Okay. So I want to talk real quick about kind of how I structure my guitar tracks, how I build this whole situation. I've talked about this a little bit in like video tutorials I've done, but here it is in the context of an actual track. So I've got a lot of guitar tracks here. I've got 8 guitar tracks. There's not necessarily 8 guitar parts in this song, or in most songs I do. This one there might actually be because it's crazy. But the way I structure my rhythm parts is I always at least double track guitars. My rhythm guitars will be doubled, identical parts, panned left and right. And that's what you're seeing here. If we take a listen to these two guitars, not those, but these. So it's this thicker sound. You can't get this just by duplicating a track and panning it left and right. They have to be separate recordings, so you get these just slight inconsistencies between the tracks. That'll give you this width, this sound. Cool. Real quick, I'm going to take these and move them to my second rhythm tracks because I want to mix those differently. I want to have those kind of, these two. Be kind of back there. Also, I pretty much always high pass my rhythm guitars. Here's what I mean by that. Do you hear how much low-end rumble is in those guitars? And you can even see it right here in the frequency spectrum. It's that really punchy boom. And now it's gone. It's not taking up that space anymore. And if we listen to the track, I'm going to take the leads out of it for a moment, and I'll take the original Aquatic Ruin track out of it. We'll see what we have. Feels a lot more spacious. I'll compare with just the bass and guitars soloed right now. Let's do the opposite in the bass. Let's take some space out of the mid-range in the bass to make room for the guitars. So let's listen to just the bass. Let's hear what that middle sounds like. Do you hear this space? We don't need that in the bass, this mid-range. Now it's taken up a little less space in there. We get a nicer sound overall. We get this nice bass tones and the crisp highs of the bass, but that mid-range is left open for the guitars. They kind of coexist a little better. They fit into each other better. Let's hear the drums. I haven't really heard much of this drum kit yet. Hang on. I like it a lot. That bass drum's really loud, specifically the bass frequencies of that bass drum, so I'm just going to cut the lows a little bit with a low shelf. Because this doesn't need like a huge, crazy, bassy kick. Cool. Let's jump over to our lead guitars. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the rhythms. I'll just drag that over. But I'm going to pull it up even higher because we don't need as many low frequencies because these guitars are playing higher. So everything down there is just kind of rumbly noise now. Cool. And then after that, we're going to add some echoes, some space. I really like Soundtoys Echo Boy for my echoes. Oh, does not like running at 4K. Sorry. For context, I'm running my monitor in 4K right now. So everything you're seeing is just the top left corner of my monitor. I have another 75% of this monitor that I'm using for my streaming setup and OBS and voice meter and all that stuff. And Soundtoys apparently really does not like running in 4K. Oh boy, Soundtoys, how you doing there? Okay, we're going to go with a different echo plugin. I don't even know what I'm going to use. Oh no. What's Replica? That sounds like an echo, right? That looks like an echo. Okay, I could work with that. Cool, but I'd like it to be in stereo. Can I do a I really want what's called a, there we go, thank you. That's not helpful. I don't like this one. I'm going to go with a different one. We're just going to go with the good old mod delay from Avid, the built-in Pro Tools one. It's not very pretty. It's not very fun, but it does the job. And what I'm looking for is for it to have a different delay in the left channel than the right channel, which gives us some width in this track. Cool. And now just a little bit of reverb. Can I get some feedback on that, actually? There we go. And reverb. I use Valhalla Vintage Verb is my reverb of choice. I absolutely love it. Okay. So let's hear all that in context. Okay. That's one pass of the song. The good news is, following a standard, like, verse-chorus form, we can just duplicate this out, which is great. If Pro Tools will let me. There it is. I'm going to fill in more information here. I feel like it still needs something in the background, right? Like, this part feels empty. It needs that crazy background piano. Ah. Let me see if I can just... I'm just going to put that literally on a piano and see if I like it or not. We'll go with... the grandeur is a good one. It's so loud, piano. Shakers. Oh, you're absolutely right. Why didn't I think of that? Thank you. Let's try shakers first. So here is a service called Splice that I make a lot of use of. They're a sample library. You pay a monthly fee and you get a certain number of downloads of samples. And they've got a ton of stuff. These are just the ones I've licensed for use in either videos like this or TV shows. And here's some shakers. So I'm just going to literally drag that right into Pro Tools. And I've got my shaker track. And it's all time synced and everything. It's beautiful. Aguero. Maybe. I'm going to have to get some Latin percussion going. You're absolutely right. Cool. Now, I don't like that this is like mono right down the middle. So I'm going to use... I know it doesn't like being on this screen, but Soundtoys Micro Shift. And now you can hear how wide that sounds. I like that. So let's mix that in here. And that can just roll straight through this whole section, aside from the ba-na-na, ba-na-na at the end. That definitely adds something. I'm going to add that piano too. Is that right? Okay, there's the piano part. That works. Didn't expect a metal cover of Aquatic Ruin to work so well. Me neither. Figured it was worth a try, though. With Chemical Plant, I feel like you have to get a balance of synths and guitars before it becomes a muddy mess of a million guitar tracks playing at the same time. That's exactly what I ran into the first time I tried to cover Chemical Plant. I have a session file still sitting on here of an awful metal version of Chemical Plant that just didn't work. And that's why I saved it for the funk album I did, because it really did work in like a really funky, clean guitar style. So we're going to... we're going to double this an octave up and see if we like that. There we go. And Metropolis Zone, you mentioned, Bacon. You're right. I should do that one, huh? Okay, let's see how this piano mixes in. Now I need to show you the first metal version of Chemical Plant. I will. I'll have to dig that up. I think it's on my old computer. This is the PC I built a couple years ago. Unless... hang on. I'm just curious. Here's my longest solo ever folder. Is Chemical Plant in here? No. No, I don't think it's on this computer. Nope. I think it's on my old one, which is not in this house right now. We just moved, so stuff's all over the place. I like the way this piano part sits, though. Okay, so that's most of the section. Now, like I said, we've got to manufacture like a third part for this. And what I usually do is work with what's already there, right? We got to... we've got to make a solo section for this. What I usually do is take the main theme, maybe move it to a different key. So, for example, when I did Green Forest a couple months ago, you have that main riff, right? And I took that through a bunch of different keys. So first I transposed it to like G, I think. And then C. Finally like A. Which leads you back to D. So, what? Video ends. Did it stop streaming? I hope not. I hope it's still streaming. I don't know what you're talking about, Benjamin. I hope it didn't stop streaming, though, because then I'll be very mad at my streaming software. So, we have this, this A section. Maybe I'll just do a groove like a... kind of a general Latin groove that then launches into the thing. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to groove on just a D minor for a while. And then... yeah, it's just going to groove on D minor for a minute and then move into that verse chord progression. You really like how the drums sit in the mix. Thank you so much. I can't really take credit for it. I didn't do anything. Get good drums just sound good. I really can't say how much I love this bass. I mentioned it in that Wolfpack video I did this week. This was like... I think this was like a $400 bass. It was less for me because I work at a music store, but it's a really, really ridiculously good bass for the price. I can highly recommend it. Fender Classic Vibe, sorry, Squier Classic Vibe, 70s jazz bass. Super good. in. Like, that was such low volume. Hang on, I'm going to re-record that. I was running through my XFX bypassed, but I'm just going to walk it straight into the interface. There it is. Okay. Let's do that again. Game Metal versus longest solo ever. Yeah. Game Metal's so good. I would love to do like a collab with him or something. I want to do much more collabs this year. I did one with Brian Antonio, who's a really sick acoustic guitarist. I think we're going to do another one of those next week. But I want to do some too. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to groove on D minor and then move into the bass line. I also just really enjoy playing this bass line. That's why I want to play it again. Ow. And I have an idea for I know exactly where that's going after the solo section. It's going to be like a halftime version of the chorus, and then out. Can you play? Can you play Pro Tools, please? Thank you. And then it's right back into the other one. I was listening to your Mega Man X songs on Spotify today, but you only had one on Spotify. Do I plan on putting more older stuff on Spotify? Yes, absolutely. There's not really licensing issues for singles like that. I was talking about it earlier, but licensing issues are really only on the medleys. So the Mega Man X medley is a no-go, and the Sonic mini-boss medleys aren't happening. But all those other ones, like Spark Mandrill, Armored Armadillo, I should absolutely have those on Spotify. I don't know why I don't have Spark Mandrill on Spotify. That's like my favorite video game song of all time is probably that one. It's so good. So yeah, those will definitely be on Spotify soon. I just have to get around to remastering them and posting. Okay, so there's our bass for the solo section. Let's put a guitar there too. This will be quick, and then we'll do some solo guitar takes. Okay. Do I like Dying Light? The video game? I haven't played it. I'm way behind on video games. You were sharing my Spark Mandrill cover with a friend yesterday. Thank you so much. That means a lot. That's the best thing anybody can do for me, is just share my videos with your friends, because it means a lot to me, and it helps my channel and stuff. There's another one you really like by Ryusuke19851128. Do you think he tells everybody all those numbers every time he talks about his channel? You think... Like, Longest Solo Ever is a silly name, but I didn't put any numbers in my channel name, because that's hard to remember. I don't know how that guy does it. It says zombie parkour game. That sounds awesome. Is it just DI bass sound? Yeah, it's just straight in. There's literally nothing on the bass right now. There's the slightest bit of EQ, and that's it. It's just DI. Nothing special, no amp simulation or anything. Like I said, it's a really nice bass. Not even just for the price. It's just a really nice bass. Okay. I don't know what to do with these rhythm guitars. That's cool. That's cool. That's a bad rhythm pattern. I didn't like that. Cool. And then... Ah, I forgot the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, ba da 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 ba da 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 da. No. Ba da 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 ba da ba da ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 da. Cool. All right, let's play some guitar solos. I have no idea what I'm going to do. No idea. The rhythm guitar in this section is very Sonic Heroes-esque. Yeah. Everything from when, really when Jun Sano took over composition duties, got really, really like rock and roll power chordy. Before that point, it was a really weird mix of genres, and Jun really solidified it to this really specific, like J-rock kind of sound that I love. So yeah, there's a little bit of that going on here. Okay, so... Okay, so we got a guitar tone. That's good. I still literally have no idea what I'm going to play for this section. So let's see what happens. Digging my lead guitar sound. Thank you so much. I said at the beginning, a long time ago, it's the Fractal Axe FX 2 using, see if I can read what it says. It's a 6160. It's like a 5150 kind of sound stack. I'm not sure what kind of cab, but it's a super simple lead guitar sound. There's not much going on. Jun Sano started working for the Sonic games with Sonic 3. Yes. Yeah, he was composing alongside original composer, whose name escapes me at the moment, and I'm so sorry to that guy. Also, it's very rumored that Michael Jackson wrote a lot of the stuff on that album too. Not on that album, on that game. And then they later pulled him due to the controversy that was going on. But you can hear the echoes of some of his songs in things like Carnival Night Zone. That bow is like identical to one of his songs. And you can hear vocal samples from him all over the game. So yeah, there's a lot of Michael Jackson in there, along with, of course, Jun Sano. Okay. Guitar solo time. Okay, that mostly went better than I expected it to. Let me talk a little bit about what the heck I just did. That was fully improvised. I've never even thought about soloing on this song before. The very first thing I did, you notice I had this really kind of out there scale I was using. So this is the, it's one of the modes of the harmonic minor scale, but basically, it's essentially a minor scale, but the second note is a half step lower, and the third note is a half step higher. So instead of being... it's... which gets you this really cool tone. A prototype of Sonic 3 was leaked recently, and it had completely different songs. Oh, I gotta check that out. Oh, I'm dying to hear these beta Sonic 3 songs. That sounds like the best thing in the world. So I started out with that scale I was using. I forget the name of that scale off the top of my head. But again, it's a minor scale with a flat 2 and a sharp 3. Which gets you this kind of like vaguely Middle Eastern sound. Really cool tone. And then immediately after that, we get into a much jazzier section of the song where we have actual chord changes to play over. We got G minor 7, C7, F major, B flat major, E minor 7 flat 5, A7, D minor. So that's, now we're getting into like jazz territory. And when you're playing each of those chords, when the band is playing those chords, you want to accentuate the notes in those chords. So if I went through this and let's see. I'm gonna make a new playlist. And once these chord changes hit, you'll hear me, Oil Ocean. That's a good one, yeah. How's that one go? I'm working on a different Sonic song right now, so they're all kind of clouded in my head. Oil Ocean, how's that one go? Oh, no. There it is. Okay. That is a very similar scale. I don't know if it's the exact same one, but yes. That's such a good bass line. I love that song. Thank you for reminding me about that one. That's a really good one. Thanks, Benjamin. Well, I'm going to have to check out those alternate versions of Ice Cap, Carnival Night, and Launch Bass. That sounds cool. Okay, so playing over each of these chords, I'm pretty much accentuating the notes in those chords when I'm soloing. So, for example, the notes in each of those chords are these. Not those. These. But just playing the notes of the chords are kind of boring, so you work them into your lines as you're soloing. So that's my general soloing mindset when approaching a song like this. I did really like the solo I played the first time around, though. That was pretty fun. So I might keep that as kind of a template for where the solo could go, and work from there. So let's listen to everything we got so far. Hang on, I want the payoff of this halftime section at the end. Give me 1 second to program in those drums, and then we'll listen to the whole thing. Tetris, that's a good one. Check out 8-Bit or what are they called? The 8-Bit Jazz Band? Is that the name? 8-Bit Big Band? I think it's 8-Bit Big Band. 8, say that 5 times fast. The 8-Bit Big Band has a really sick cover of Tetris that has like a ska metal sound to it, like Streetlight Manifesto. It's really, really cool. 8-Bit Metal is amazing. I'm absolutely obsessed with them. Okay, let's see if this sounds halfway decent. Go back in for one last big chorus. That thing. And that's the tune. That might be the full arrangement. Let's listen to it. Yeah, real quick. I'm just going to freeze these tracks. That way we get one really nice, clean playback. Freezing tracks in Pro Tools just renders them to like a single audio file, so you're not putting any pressure on the computer to do audio work. Takes a minute, but it's worth it if you want to hear like a really nice product without pushing your processor too hard. I think I am going to have to upgrade the processor in this guy soon. So I plan on doing a lot more live streams this year, probably every other week or so, on Saturday mornings in this 10 a.m. time slot. I'm planning to do some live performances too, like live guitar performances in these live streams. I won't be doing them through Pro Tools. It'll just be direct, so we won't have any of these issues. But I think it'll be fun. So if you have songs of mine or songs I've done here on YouTube that you want to hear live, let me know in the chat or in the comments. And I'll put them on the set list because I gotta produce all the backing tracks and stuff, but I think that's going to be really fun. Can I give some tips on how I make my drumming composition? Yeah, so I have a video on just programming drums that goes through kind of my general approach, but to quickly sum it up, it really, really helps to be able to play drums. If you are a drummer, that's huge. You have a massive leg up in terms of programming drums because you're really just writing sheet music for the things you would do on an actual drum set. If you're not a drummer, I suggest... I hate to say it, but I suggest learning at least the concepts of playing the drums. You don't have to have a drum set in front of you, but you have to learn what goes into a drum beat, what a drummer's hands can and can't do. Like you can't hit 3 things at once on the drums with your hands because you only have 2 of them. So being able to approach things that way. And then after that, it's just learning the styles that you want to program in. So I happen to know what a samba drum beat feels like on the drums, even if I'm not super good at playing them. So I'm going to have to practice this before I do the video for this. But I know what one feels like. I know what one looks like in sheet music, where the kicks are, what the ride is doing, what the snare is doing. After that, it's just a matter of putting that into the program. Fills are probably the toughest thing to understand, because there's not a good rule set like there is for drum beats. Fills are kind of a personal self-expression, a little mini drum solo you get to take at the end of every section. It helps to kind of analyze and transcribe fills from other songs. If you hear a song in a fill in a metal song you really like Matt Halpern's drum fills in Periphery songs are incredible. Mike Portnoy's fills in Dream Theater tunes. So just listen to these tunes, take a listen to even just the tiniest fills and try to write them out in a drum set, in a DAW like this. That'll teach you so much. Everything I learned about programming drums, I learned from programming covers like this, transcribing drum fills. That's my best advice. Or like I said, just grab a drum set lesson book and program the beats and fills you see in that book. That could teach you a lot too. So let's listen to this. Definitely Armored Armadillo. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a tough one to play. That's one of the harder songs I've played on my channel. It's like Armored Armadillo. Hot Damned from Super Meat Boy is #1 toughest thing I've ever played. So those are fun. Am I familiar with the band Ridiculon? No, but I'm going to check them out now. Thank you for the recommendation. All right, let's take a listen to our cover. And then it repeats itself there. Then we have our solo section. Okay, that's a really good sketch. I'm happy with how that came out. That's the entire structure of the song. There's still going to be a lot of pieces I have to add in, a lot of edges to file down, and I'm certainly going to clean up that guitar solo, but I like that overall skeleton I got. So I'll typically, when I'm writing a guitar solo, I'll do like 20 takes in a row just improvising, and then from those 20 takes, figure out what I liked, what I didn't like, and then write out some variation on something I recorded, and then record that part. So it's never a fully improvised solo you see in my videos, but it always starts as one. All right. So I'm going to leave it at that today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for 2 hours. This was so much fun. Thanks to everybody who hung out today. You know, Benjamin, Bacon, Bill Wilson, Metal 'em Up, Victor at Metal 'em Up. No, this is stupider. Tyler Biggs. Of course, thank you so much for the super chats from NS Boy and Miso Soup. Owen Wyatt, Rydeen, Tech Hugo, Gabriel Canilio, Hello Valtteri, of course, and everybody else who hung out. Dong Dashi, Paradigm Shift 2, Josue Gonzalez Suarez. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. So fun to spend time with you guys on a Saturday morning. I'll be doing this again in probably 2 weeks, but you'll see this show up on my channel long before I stream, so you can set a reminder for yourself. In the meantime, I got another video coming for you next week, and I'll see you then. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.